Hello and welcome to ESPN Cricinfo Match Day T20. It's the unthinkable on Saturday that's happened. The bottom two teams have managed to secure points in the IPL. Rajasthan have done it before, but it's a first very sweet victory for the Royal Challengers Bangalore, led by Virat Kohli and AB de Villiers. Surprise, surprise. They've managed to come amongst the runs, the big two from RCB, and well done to Yuzvendra Chahal, Navdeep Saini, a much improved bowling performance that saw Punjab, you could say to some degree, restricted at 173 for Chris Gale's 99 not out in vain. And our Ashwin has a few questions to answer about his bowling as well. An 8-wicket win that sees RCB open their account in this year's IPL. How pleasing is that? How pleased was Virat Kohli to finally get off the board, and he's celebrated like he's won the IPL. And on ESPN Cricinfo Match Day T20, we've got Deep Dasgupta and Sean Tate with me. This means a lot to the Indian captain, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, obviously yes. Yeah. I mean, come on, it's like a monkey off your back. You know, 6 games without a win, and you could see that he was up for this. I mean, you could see that AB de Villiers and him, both of them were up for it, and so is the rest of the side.
What's been the difference today, Terry? That RCB bowled better, or that their batsmen, their big two, stood out? What for you was a more telling factor in them winning this game?
You're going for the drop catches? No, to be fair, Kings 11 fielded really poorly. Yeah, in general, their ground fielding, they misfielded a lot, dropped a couple of catches. But in saying that, I mean, obviously there was that little period through the batting with Kings where they were obviously, you were talking about if Gale could have stepped it up, or the other players around him could have helped him out a bit more. That was a little aspect of the game. But the main thing is that AB was out at the end. That's as simple as that. Obviously, Kohli played a great innings, and Stoinis stepped up at the end there with him.
Okay, let's move to our match day match points and start focusing bit by bit. RCB fans will believe once more. Kohli and AB de Villiers have opened their account. Let's speak of the contribution of those two batsmen themselves. And you said very early, just watching Virat Kohli, Deep, that something about the way he was going about it, the way he was running, told you that he's up for it today.
Yeah, I mean, you could see that intensity back, and there's a difference between him in the last few games. He was intense, but he was also nervous. You could see the pressure. So today it was a little different. It doesn't seem like he was under pressure, but the intensity was as high as ever. And it's very obvious. I mean, if you see him run, even defend. At times, you could see him defend a dead defense, and he would be looking for a single. I mean, the body language is different when he's in that zone, and I thought he was in that zone today.
There's also, it seemed like, Terry, there was a genuine sense of belief this time with Bangalore. They probably saw that it's not the best bowling attack in front of them. This is not the biggest score they have to chase. Did you sense that there's more purpose in this run chase?
Absolutely. They had a lot of confidence, even though at the end you could see relief, especially on AB's face. It was just like, when he hit that 6, it was like we look like we're home here finally. But I think what Virat was saying pre-game, just going out, relaxing, enjoying themselves. Sometimes it's that simple in cricket.
Yeah. Just looking at a record between Bangalore and Punjab, and they wouldn't have picked a better opponent if they had to pick one to ensure that they don't end up being a team with the restriction of 7 consecutive losses in the IPL, which would have been a record. They beat Punjab last time in both games, and they've beaten them again today. And to some degree, this would hurt Kings 11 a little bit. Lost to Mumbai, last ball recently. Losing this to a team that struggled to win all season, bottom of the table. This might be a telling sort of loss for us.
Yeah, maybe not that they lost to RCB, but the way they lost.
Yeah.
I think they could have scored more runs with the bat. They could have fielded better. They could have bowled better. So all 3 departments, I mean, they could have done better. So I think it's the manner of the loss which would hurt Ashwin and the team a little more.
Okay, let's focus on that then. Not the best bowling, not the best fielding effort. To some degree, we felt like even the points that they got on the board, Terry, was in spite of the bowling attack that they have, and not necessarily because of it. They've got some runs in some games. What about this bowling attack stands exposed the day it goes wrong? We don't have catches taken. Other than Mohammad Shami, no one looks threatening. What about this bowling attack is missing?
That's the thing. I'm obviously Shami's heavily reliant, and so is Ashwin, I suppose. I mean, they've got a reasonable bowling attack. Again, Ty. I mean, he's obviously been asked to do a job towards the end. And we've been saying he's not in form, and I think today again he didn't show that he was an in-form bowler by any means. None for 40 off his 4 overs. Curran, I think at the start, I mean, I like Curran with the new ball because he can swing it, but there's not enough oomph. Not enough spice at the top of the order or penetration with a new ball there with him today. So I think there's a few little things there. I don't know what they can do to change that. But
See, if you look at that bowling unit, you have 3 bowlers, Murugan Ashwin, R. Ashwin and Shami, that you can rely for 12 overs. The other 2 bowlers, other 8 overs, they've got to figure out a way to kind of, if not 2 bowlers and maybe 3 bowlers, someone like Moses Henry comes in and he bowls in a couple.
Might I say, even from those 12, one of them could have an off day. Could be M. Ashwin, could be Shami. Today it was Shami who went to nearly 11. And then you suddenly got an issue. But this issue was there even before this game. They couldn't defend what should have been a defendable score against Mumbai.
Yeah, but again, if you look at that scorecard, okay, Ashwin might go for runs someday, but then Shami will kind of balance it out. So between those 3, they will balance each other out. Generally, that's what happens. All 5 good bowlers, one of them will go for runs. All 5 will not have a good day at the same time. But then they balance each other out. But here, if you look at 5, out of which 3 are proper 4-over bowlers, and Ty obviously is a proper 4-over bowler, but he's not in form.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's a big one, isn't it? Andrew Ty not in form is huge, isn't it?
Absolutely. He's your overseas death bowler. I don't think we touched on it pre-game, but one thing that stood out to me about the selection is Ankit Rajput. I like him.
Yes.
I think he needs to be in this attack.
Yes.
He runs in, hits the deck hard with a new ball, and that's what they were missing today a bit as well. But the AJ Ty thing, I mean, I'm not putting all the blame on him. There's a lot of problems, not a lot of problems, but there's a couple of problems, cracks in their bowling attack. At the moment, he's one of them. He just needs to find some form quickly.
Well, they did have Huddersfield injured or down with the flu, which is why Ty played.
Exactly.
But
So,
is there room for a Mujib?
there is. They have options there. But as long as you have someone like William, Mujib, I don't know why, but Mujib is someone they should actually play almost every game.
Yeah.
Then you have Ankit Rajput. So they have options. Yeah. But at times what happens is because they don't have an all-rounder, the only all-rounder they have is Sam Curran. He kind of gives a balance. So he has to be picked. And once you pick him, you've got to find another bowling option who can give you 2 overs. So you're not under pressure to bowl Sam Curran. Like today he bowled 3 overs. Maybe something like that. You find another option who can chip in with. They played Puran today. They could have easily gone with someone like Moses Henry who can chip in with maybe an over or 2. So that just takes the pressure off the bowler and the captain as well.
Okay. You have to consider now whether Punjab will make changes to this, but let's give Bangalore full credit. Today's their day. Yuzvendra Chahal, Navdeep Saini keep Punjab in check with the ball, and let's focus on that because we weren't quite sure what to make of 173 for 4. We did hear from Deepan Shawn who thought that it was slightly below par, but it could have proven to be enough with the way RCB have batted. 173 was essentially tantamount to Chahal getting 2 wickets, and Chris Gale's approach being rather defensive against him, and that's again something you saw very early when Chris Gale started to block a few, that he was not going to take Chahal on.
So that's what Chris Gale does. If he's under any kind of a threat where he thinks that I can get out to a certain bowler, he does not take any chances. But my point was a little different. Okay, if Chris Gale is not taking chances, then somebody else has to. And that's where I thought the Sarfaraz innings, the Mandeep innings, and especially you cannot allow Moeen Ali, no disrespect, he's a good bowler, but you cannot allow him to go for about 21 in his 4.
He's not that good a bowler.
Not 21 in his 4. It has to be around that 28-run mark.
You have Moeen Ali who's gone for 19 from
19,
4
sorry,
overs.
not even 21. So 19 from 4.
Yeah.
And as a right-hander, Indian right-hand batsman like Mandeep or Sarfaraz being there, I can understand as a left-hander, Chris Gale didn't want to take a chance. So, but the others around him, maybe they missed a trick there.
Yeah, 4 overs for 19, that's a big one. Yuzvendra Chahal and Navdeep Saini kept Gale quiet. From 25 balls that the two of them bowled to Chris Gale, he's managed to score just 23 off that. You can't think of a duo like that to keep Chris Gale quiet in the form he's been in. Terry, you like what you see of Navdeep Saini? He goes wicketless.
I think
there's something about him.
There's been a little bit of hype around him this IPO. I think everyone's starting to like him. Love his action, love the way he approaches everything with his bowling. Wickets will come. But he bowled a ball at 149 tonight.
Yeah, well, he's quick. And you actually like him even well before the second.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have high hopes for Navdeep.
Performed well in domestic cricket.
That's right. He's done well in domestic cricket, and as you mentioned, he looks very smooth, and he comes in and he bowls at 145 plus, and it doesn't look like he's putting that kind of effort. That just tells me maybe he has that a little bit extra. He can gain another half a yard maybe in his pace. His action, as you mentioned, looks very smooth, so it doesn't look like there is a apparent injury which is around him. He obviously can get injured. But all in all, it comes across as a good package.
Chris Gale's 99 therefore goes in vain. What sort of innings was this then, Deep, for you? It wasn't a usual Chris Gale innings. You said you wanted the others to go harder, but can Chris Gale be blamed? We mentioned at half-time, he sort of went slow himself towards the end. He wasn't maximizing those last few overs.
True, and I was looking at the numbers. Obviously, in the death, he goes at 200 plus, but in this game, he went around 190. I can understand that. It can be one off day where he was trying and didn't, but I think there was some issue with the communication between Gale and the other batsmen. I think maybe Gale, being the senior partner, could have conveyed to the other guys, you know what, I'm going to take easy against these two bowlers, why don't you go ahead? You know, you still had Puran to come in, you had other batsmen to come in, people who come in and can be useful with the bat. But yeah, I mean, listen, the other thing is it's Chris Gale. So when you look at Chris Gale, 99, he's played 20 overs and hasn't got 100, that's the other thing. If this had been any other batsman, it would be like, you know what, good knock.
Yeah, let's just have a look at Chris Gale's innings. That'll give you some perspective, how he sort of built it. Strike rate of 60 to start with, we come to expect that, Teddy. Then he advances and he starts going crazy. And all of a sudden, between 21 to 30, he's gone slow again. And then 140 at the end, you were hoping Chris Gale goes at something like 200, 210, which is what he usually goes with when he's batting at the death. And that phase in the middle, when Navdeep Saini kept him tied down, was that a phase? I mean, I'd hate to point the man at the one guy who did get the runs. But maybe because of the soft nature of that middle order, again, you need someone.
That's why, I think maybe he was thinking in that period towards the end there where he went slow, maybe he was thinking, I just need to be in here at the death because he's not trusting the rest of the guys to do the job. Or maybe, you know, you said that the two spinners, he got 23 of 24, is that right? Or 20?
Yeah, between Saini and Yuzvendra Chahal, he's got 23 of 25.
So maybe you look at that and go, hang on, you can't have two bowlers like that.
Yeah.
Maybe just one you can accept, but maybe two you got to get after one. You know, Saini probably. You know. So.
All right.
But the other thing with Navdeep Saini is because he's quick, and we all know. I mean, Chris Gale. I mean, he's almost 40, isn't it? I mean, and he has issues with which is anything which is around waist high or chest high. And the extra pace, I believe. I think that's again something that I guess Navdeep Saini has over Chris Gale as of now.
Okay, last word on both these two teams. Can this be a turnaround moment for Bangalore, or do they still have issues to fix?
No. I mean, listen, they have, but they don't have enough backup to kind of address those issues. But having said that, I mean, listen, they're going to end up winning at least 3 games or 4 games more from here. Where they're going to qualify, I don't think so they will qualify.
Dale Steyn joins their ranks in a few days, so they'll have that option if they want it. And last word on Punjab from you, Teddy. It's a couple of losses now. What's the bigger issue? The lack of potency in the bowling, or again the lack of assurance in the rest of the batting other than Gale, Rahul and Mayank Agarwal?
Well, I mean, a boring answer, but it's probably a bit of both in some ways. You know, obviously they're showing a fair bit of faith in Sam Curran as well. We've spoken about that a little bit as well over the last couple of days, but look, I mean, again, they've got. You don't want to become too reliant on Rahul and Gale, and there is definitely a little bit of a kink in that middle order there. I think those guys. It's a bit like Hyderabad in some ways. Yeah. Just that middle order just needs to step up and make a few runs.
Very well. Let's have a look at how that impacts the points tables. Today's results in the IPL, where Rajasthan have beaten Mumbai and Bangalore have downed Punjab. What it does is it keeps status quo to a degree. Mumbai had a chance to go above Kolkata Knight Riders, but what it does, it's got 1, 2, 3 teams now with 7 matches and 8 points. So Kolkata, when they're in action against Chennai, what a big game that turns out to be in the context of how results have gone on Saturday. Punjab and Rajasthan. I imagine Punjab and Hyderabad. If Hyderabad can manage to beat Delhi, you'll actually have 4 or 5 teams on 8 points by the end of the halfway point of the IPL. So it sets things up quite nicely. Keep an eye out on net run rate too, because it looks like that sort of season where it could very well come down to that. I don't think they will need net run rate to distinguish our Fab 4 winners for today. So let's have a look at how Sean Tate and Deep Dasgupta went. Teddy picked Virat Kohli, who was a good pick, and Marcus Stone has got him a few. He's got 150.
Not enough, is it?
You're always around that, so you're like the Mumbai Indians. One or two guys do well, and then sort of you fall 10, 12 below par. Let's see what Deep Dasgupta has done. Chris Gale, AB de Villiers, all the big boys came to the party tonight. 253. It's an absolute thumping.
It's a thumping at both ends, Quiz and day before.
You'd be very happy to know that Deep is not going to be with us in studio tomorrow. So, but I believe Murli Karthik
week.
is a formidable
Oh,
opponent as well.
that'll be no problem.
He's probably more competitive even.
That would be no problem.
Yeah.
No,
All right.
I'll take.
Deep, absolute pleasure. Thank you very much. We hope
Pleasure as
to
always.
have your company again in a week's time or so and
Sure.
enjoy the commentary of the games. Daddy, you're going nowhere. Do
Yes.
some homework. Get the quiz right. Get the Fab 4 right. We'll see you in a few hours for that cracking double header. KKR versus CSK in Kolkata, then Hyderabad v Delhi from Hyderabad. We'll cover all that and do join us at 2 p.m. for Face Off, the quiz with our in-studio experts as well as everyone watching on our Facebook Live page. What a wonderful story from Saturday in the IPL. Rajasthan and Bangalore have won and have given hope to their teams and kept the IPL very much alive.